obetimi ede ho ahye bobe na ene House of Fortune for say ye mama manie na yenyim asotre se womo de nipa dodo na ne dodo mu pa nipa be se apem womo ede womo ekọ omanya ye friend Romania na afi womo timi akwakotina ho akwakoye adwuma na anopai se wotie me na woye obi a woye skilled labor wankasa ukra wonsa no adwuma ana wotimi eyede a anopai sa akwanya mpacho wo chefa wom eno achi no oye obi a eba no construction worker eho dwumade nyina no wo ho nim bia ne pa se woye mason woye plumber ananso se de ka ho nyina no anopai sa akwanya kese no mpacho onso ka ho bi eno nti oni House of Fortune for any enkomo na womo ebejo so aboa wo ye pa afemu amuwo hospitality sector ni mo amu ye adwuma ewo hotels ahodo restaurant ahodo ni nyina no mpacho onsa no bonko ade a anopai sa akwanyan onso ochefa ewo mobi enti de wo be nyina no ene se oni House of Fortune for ebedi enkomo oye machine operator anase oye engineer a wosiesie machine auto or a technical mechanical anopai mpacho de sese woye nyina no ene se oni House of Fortune for any enkomo na akwanya no over 1,000 workers ana womo ede ekwakopie mo ewo Romania under a contract of 2 years and tempacho when isu ade hono ne se obetu kwan na wakwakotena ho akoye adwuma de ampacho sa akwanya fa wo ho ehyemu bi pa na eniema eye requirement a womo behia for you to be a part of this no wo traveling passport wo CV ana afi wo medical fee any registration fee kakra a wo betua eno achi no ohia passport size pictures no mako enai na afi watimi ababeye a part of it na hye nso se ye de ukọ Romania ukoye adwuma afimie no achi no womo ebesanso renew contract ni nyina no e de amount se utimi etwa mfie no mu a bacho o akwanya se wode wabusua ni nyina ebekọ akopie mu ewo Romania wo man ni mu na afi ho ana wo pese wo to abrabo no so a na watimi atoa so efri ho eno nti anopai House of Fortune ana de sa akwanya e de ato ho e de amam bacho de obe nyina ne se obefa wo mo numbers no na wone wo mo edi nkomo wo mo bejo so na wo mo timi aboa pa fra wo mo anopai on 05545479115 05545479115 and after 0200 074525 0200 and after 0302 977773 na one wamo eni nkomo mpacho ko Amankwa Plaza B ewo Achimota ABC eho ana wo be ho wo office no na anopai oni House of Fortune for entimi eni enkomo wo adaroma anopai wo aboaye pa ma me fast na ne be ema 22bet.com pacho anopai eno eye website a wo koso a games ahodo ni nyina no ewo so na 22bet de the surest bet enti anopai se wotie me na woye better na opese games ahodo a etwaguo ni nyina no utimi place wo bet no ewo obi aso dia anopai esese 22bet ana wotimi edi wagro no na utwa wo bet ni nyina no ewo so esan se wo wins no edoso na opportunities no and benefits no at your first deposit no eye bebre anopai only 22bet.com for any agro embom na ebeboa uye pa na onso apeja eye usika sembo pacho obeko 22bet.com.gh na watimi akwakocha games ahodo ni nyina no pacho ye will be ewo so a utwa ebetimi aboa odds no eye papa enti anopai onso fa wo ho agye bi wo mo adaroma anopai wo mo asoye mo ama ye de machi dwumade e de bro me de Kwame Appiah Kubi Mr. Speaker. I'm highly grateful say anopai watimi adjoin here checking your time is about 47 after 7 Kessben 92.9 on radio and Kessben TV live anopai o share say who you should DSTV decoder na channel 364 and afi say o share live will go TV channel 121 free to air digital terrestrial platform no and pay unya live was so and you most welcome on board na yedasin so stay with us from now to 9:40 na yenewo any encommon. Now in recent times there's been a lot of complaints about doing business in Ghana. Now a lot of businessmen and women across the country complaining one they kind port charges ahodo a wo mo say akosro se ukọ na ukọ akwakoyi wo niema ewo port as an importer. In fact, duties are ubetua no ebu wo mo kom. Now the complaints some has to do with the fact say a buying debt restructuring program what they buy affect enyumakuo ahodo pay. In fact, some even go to the extent of saying say the period of duration abide ma womo say womo car womo den womo befra say etua no san hyehyeye no enya enimo. For that reason liquidity ho nsem nyina no ababeye a greater challenge for some of the businesses. Enti anope eno ho nkomo ana yenewo eba ababedi na afi yahwe eho say issues ekoso no a quite band you bet me afasoma many Prince Obri Yaboa any nkomo as an economist and banking consultant na anope yeni kan emfa yeni entre the banking sector no na yeni no any nkomo Mr. Obri Yaboa Timika, good morning and Pomboko there.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. About that Daruma BBI Boko.
Very well. Anope Yadasen so papa se wajia so. And first off, tell us, in the Ghanaian banking sector, what are some of the peculiar challenges say more facing as a sector player na afi mo members hodwa. In fact, womo edi juma within the sector as a consultant odiweni edi omujume diachi ene de ka ho nyina. What is really the challenge within this particular sector?
Omira dedikai mamena wase na menchia wati for any ahefo na mecha se akase banking sector na go through a lot of processes within the last 2 years na the shall free emra aban make decisions say obey the financial sector cleanup exercise na ehwa akohia say enyumaku ni bebre wo position as at that time no na nya de a eso ani enti necessary ban ni to anamo a obesi situation na o man wum say the whole banking sector no enkonku collapse eno nam so ma banks ni bi edwumadi licenses na de akeka ho yeji di free aban yeji di free mo nsem ma aban take over now odie no achi no ana the year 2022 ekoba say aban eka amemene no na wo hwe ka amena aban na dodo na gina bosia waba free timamufo eye true bonds any treasury bill any other source of financing na saban betime any opportunity no obu man na esese oye bibia e friend the debt restructuring. Okay. Said the year chirichemu that debt restructuring na say e ka me de wo esese mituama 1 year no bibia sinti say mintimi tuam fama within 1 year no enti twum no ma ba betua ka ne de ama the next 5 years. Issues and so the buy and I said about ne say ubia financial and I say nipa bia out to no ma to say you may go open no abrabo say for the next 5 years say ni na mo am pese me den me too na o hwe debt exchange aban ya enya de sisi wa maman so enti can say financial institution bia antwena dwena nkoso say bibi say beba besia ma omu deposit and as omu investment omu akwena eho aba asem enti ekoba se aban eko tu sa na mo no na ma the bank projection for next couple of years ni bibia eden abeboma na sesesesa na the man kan chire kase ne se wusia IFRS financial accounting standard or reporting and also koba se we change of position on investment or loan biaba the status necessary and no koba say banks no do na koboka because sikana abandon and so in the name of debt exchange necessary writing off as a bad debt actually abantia why restore it back to its form. Now the major challenge that the banks liquidity you can liquidity as a challenge say how easily and ahorebe so na obi baso oba begini sika obi tenya de eden e de amano enam se sika no dodo na in the form of investment ekodi aban honom no enti ene ama banks ability so mu de bema mu betan no mu liquidity no ekọ form another issue so kesi e de ba ye say is the same sika na wa aban ho no ananke e kwa akwaje a ye de ba be matemam for loans enam se sika na kodi aban ho a won't mean the bank's ability to grant loans e kwen be fa so de ma bosia eno so ye den e ko fom si se sika na kodi baabi na okotwe ne ma o ko fa sika foforo afiri hen ana wo de akwa akutua eno so e ya another issue a ebe konko ho ade ba ko de sa di kai kwa ba ese time ko ba se na debt exchange ne ba no na obi anim the way be see den akonti e ma customer confidence and no financial sector nim kwa na e den e ko fom ba no de ma menka se nyame adom e kwan a aban any Bank of Ghana efa so handles that issue no into which second report to a buy nyina since that time na didie asaba bank edumedie mu enti eno de eno asi enti wo kan nyina boma bofokasem ma banks ni bi solvency chese sika ne kodi aban ho no e wo so such that enne ama Bank of Ghana so appoint advisor edema bank bi di say UMB no manage wo mu situation di eden edema wo mu enti me bone tofa asusun so no ana impact wo economy nim say yentimi ma loans so na entrepreneurs any adwuma for the best pande wo mu dwumadie no enam say sa anyama ni nyina ntimi ankoso nti no ama the pace of economic growth no ayeden aba from kakra nti no we need the keka ho any the major challenges here face banks no.
Very well. Now, before we come to that, na yebeko yenim no, ma yenti ase e kwan ben so ana banks ni be efa so involve wo mo ho in government bonds ama wo musika dodo no, I mean akwa mu sese.
All right, me we are the can say. So o share bank dwumadie mu a ye won hyehyeye aban ede ato. Se okwa abonten na akwaje 100 cedis edi free customers honoma.
Yes.
Emremu no untimi mfa 100 cedis ni nyina ema mema loan. E kire se wo de be ma loan na woni pakọ ba so oba beje ne 100 cedis na. Enam se loan no for a period of let's say 1 year. Na nenso se o20 untimi mfa nkoma na. Enti ye nhyehyeye wo ha o proportion of deposit na wo kwa akwaje free timemu fo honum no. Ese bi wo ha wo di koye investment. Investment, it is either in the government treasury bills or accord or in the form of bonds. In fulfillment of that arrangement, and the banks need to musika yeden ekoma aban. Now, mami add say the whole world, one of the functions of central banks, and as yenim sesa wudu sika koma aban uye den na enye den enhye. Because the lender of last resort. Bank bia udumedi no pe ba bia udu sika be kwa akoshe be ma the highest security ya aban honum because beyond certain regulated financial institution Bank of Ghana kwa ma mfo sika nyeden enko ba bi bebre enti neye within that banking space operations no anema banks ndu omu sika ekoma aban se de be ya aban be nya bibia ye mpuntudwuma enti se wo he esla ni nyina wo mudidi na aban pesca dia ye mpuntudwuma obabi was okay sa to we ya meje no ha no me de to na meje no me de kwa kwaje bosia in the name of bonds na metua no for the next 5 years enti sa na koba ya meka se enya pesami nkuminya na adufu pe ana financial institutions ni ye nemum it was part of requirement and they were looking for security and mom de koma aban no.
Very well. Now, on the 5th of December 2022, and Aban Elanche the domestic debt exchange program. Now, a ban is saying, some haircuts, ISS institutions need be enya, even bondholders are individuals, and so enya haircut. Now, as part of this, arrangement ban and Aban any the banking sector, the details of it, even in terms of payment of their principals plus interest ebe accrue some drew maturity stages, but the general negotiations ni arrangement aban the promise any assurance ni ma banks ni say breben and on be frase say wo mutua wo musika the ama wo mu
so we had that exchange na
yes
aban no extra charge enti structure na woyeye no oshase free the following year ebekwa akwa akopem 15 years time enti of an mini as that document on just I can mention, but a series of bonds and what the debt exchange,
Okay.
It be a honor, say be a Esla bond, Esla bond, a band be piano in the next 5 years. It is what Tiafonia for Bekaya. Time as our program nearby and Adiaba Copa financial institutions in Antia was that now buying for the year 2023, obey 0 coupons.
Yeah.
Now you can 0 coupon now. Was it own interest beyond finding and from banks and Association of Bankers, any abandoned Cocasaya no yen sacred eventually about 5%. Mamin Casa and Namin confirm say the initial first 2 tranche of coupons were necessary by dema financial institutions, Abayetria. First one, no, about Mitria somewhere around last year, September. The second tranche of coupons, about Mitria just February, into the first 2 tranche, a debt exchange restructuring, abandon on the part of the obligation, problem behind them, in the honum, into a cobanesa. A Buama banks no do no the Bank of Ghana report Beba say banks no do income because amomo profits so then within that space na then a buy no. Into this is the arrangement into a buying say ABR first tranche no. In fact, in terms of coupon interest rate in the obetriano on biannually every 6 months and obey then obetria. But in terms of principal repayment, any 5, 10 and the 15 years in that shed and I buy any banks and I then at home once I say a cover faso a you musican efro. Inti bobo ya did this the economy needs me a bounce within 15 to 20 years time obiasi car biden and sakaya no or the woman de bedding a bomb me wo did them pose the economy needs me bounce back now your debt to GDP eba from bebria. This debt exchange arrangement in Albania, it is possible, sir, obetimi a year reduce earlier than expected. But for now, in the case you be in where Chile BBS a bit miss, year will between 5, 10 and the 15 years or the between Canadian. Ama affected.
Now, even aside that development, Mzobi Yabua, a buying a catcher, yes, sir, why establish the friend of Ghana Financial Stability Fund. And no ever restore some of the buffers at the ama banks, but banks, will have to go through certain processes. That now, the Finance Ministry, on that development on August 22, 2023, make out an operational framework. And no basi to it say stability fund, ebetimi aye ejuma. Now, if you go to point 3. Of the executive summary now, this is what the policy document, ECA. Or say banks are expected to submit recapitalization plans to Bank of Ghana, BOG, by 30th of September 2023, showing credible plans to rebuild lost capital buffers with a minimum injection of 1/3 of the capital required annually for each of the 3 years ending in 2025. And at any point in time, we a banker, then needed requirement, as I said, with me submit, you ought to submit it. But some of the people, and the institutions, are complaining of liquidity. Say, yeah, Kase.
Some adwene kakra. Adwene na ne say abana embarque debt exchange. Nanka omanya ye niema nyina ye well structured and katama buying edge banks in Sikanano. It should have gone concurrently with the establishment of Financial Stability Fund.
Okay.
But I can tell you authoritatively, as I speak with now, that fund has not been established. So the
Financial Stability Fund,
Yes, that has not been yet established. The last budget, then the government made a proposal about the source funding over Kwakwaje Ediabe Sejuman.
Okay.
In Tisekobaye no Nanka Bank B banks and 90 million to 2 million necessary bank B then ecolapsia and Kabeko from Ansana Yaba establish those Financial Stability Fund. It would have been ideal and as an Nanka proper time now we debt exchange na adequate provision should have made to establish that financial stability fund. Unfortunately, BBS and na go through the necessary regulatory framework so what the best establishing.
No, but I don't know kakra because a policy a buying say why your framework ni idea keka ho nyina as far back as August 2022 eba besi 2023 atwam now we are in April 2024 and the source funding na ebeboa ma banks no etimi absorb wo shocks na afi at any point in time wo mo betimi rely on such fund no sikane ni ho nti yen create is our fund no kra
Mira, like I said, go back even the last budget year.
Yes.
The financial stability funds, I take it again, has not been established at the Bank of Ghana.
And it is a say no banks no
it's yet to be fulfilled. Now the burden of survival has been pushed onto the banks. Banks I just mentioned either last week or last 2 weeks, and a Bank of Ghana appointed one Dr. France to supervise the activities of Universal Merchant Banks (UMB) on their recapitalization agenda. Mamenka said those assignments or those functions falls within the remit of the regulator. So financial institution be go through difficulties here because more the technical expertise omutimi appoint members ni bi emanu supervise the activities of those banks. But as I speak with you, the support now buying area debt exchange as far back as January 2023 and now say a launching in 2022 see about establishing the financial stability fund so that banks that will fall short of the required and Yemen can run to them for liquidity support. But my member Bank of Ghana, so far they have handled that gap very well. We've not seen any casualty be a financial sector anymore. But on the part of the government establishment of that fund, and the BBS intimate materialize it for now.
Yes, but even in terms of Bank of Ghana managing that sector, the truth still remains is that banks air so far because Bebrenano and Nisika.
It is true. Because in compliance with IFRS 9, as soon as there shall be adverse changes in your investment, Emrane say impair you can impair, declare it as a bad debt, and I say yesika on sanya den entimenka. So on saka, then you restore it back. So by that application, my banks need to do recorded losses in the year 2021-2022. No affect your capital adequacy. That is, or reserves now bank and on first when you would be over the period. And now that particular loss na wunya negative other people positive and no na akobase SSS banks and say recapitalization. So no question a ho kire den e system nobody can take it out, and a ho kire system very well. The few other liquidity ne wo mu kwa na KBA banks no betim dia bobosiano before recently. Now we say the rate of interest T-bill rate here. Now was some of the interest rate and banks ni be charge.
Okay.
So ideally, bank be any honoma or dimisika ebekwa koma loan when T-bill rate is as high as 29.33% as of November last year, because all the kotoa some way somehow we perceive it to be safe havens. Now say how the assembly and then Emma, but the SC or bonds in T. Ama banks are even very cautious investing in the T-bill market. And the newly a hotel system nima SSR binding to an amount new who you better restore the whole banking sector back into its normalcy.
And even as we speak, Bank of Ghana and so are maintaining the policy rate, right?
Yes, that 29%.
And how is that affecting the operations of the bank as well? Or money of more customers?
You can't a policy rate here. No, can say a bank be person Bank of Ghana, now Kwaje Bosian. the principle assumes that none the rate the regulator the burden at the Bema
in terms of interest.
Yes, in terms of interest.
Yeah.
So the higher the policy rate, the higher the normal interest rate of a bank become. It is what you for Bekaya 2022, 2023 policy rate in the yes, then cost will be no banks no do na association will adjust interest rate. But idea was that adjusting now money could do by say no. We cannot continue to push the burden, the suffering of the ordinary Ghanaians onto them because doing or it is not there making now common eye. So it got to a point that they hold on with the continual adjustment of their interest rate. And to do by being a policy rate, I was sourcing the normal interest rate Bank of Ghana air charge. Now let me say this, that since the beginning of the year, policy rate is by 1.5%. I stand to be corrected though. So it has begun showing a decline there. We did this as year twice with the same pace of the economic management now. Policy rate in the better form, I'm eventual loan interest rate is right then, abba form.
Now maybe sounds a question, no, because now no lead on to the next conversation you have on this same subject. Now one banks face liquidity challenges. For that reason, as I said, one more to rely on Bank of Ghana. Baby, one more bet me ajebosia edia kushin one. I mean, policy rate was raw. What it means is that what Sikani Free Bank of Ghana now what this best in forms of loans. The amount the clients and so I want to interest generally what it means is that businessmen and women so rely on the banks for loans any idea in terms of business operation and also form. If Ghanaians cannot afford to do their loan repayment, then what it means is that automatically the business sector and so collapse because the banking sector and so suffer. Is that really the case?
Yes. And I'm say interest rate was the cost of borrowing was so and said the yekano and ne ubi bia or or bank biano ube interest rate more than 30%. Mamenka say 8 days ago Bank of Ghana said the policy rate, monetary policy rate at 29%. So effectively Senya America, bank be an obeting the loan, ama or Ghana ha, or bedding interest rate below 29% na Bank of Ghana policy rate yedeng, ewono. Inti ma, you made any yedeng, Mr. Speaker, can you imagine say what the loan of 100,000?
Yes.
No baby trian 1 year, tria 30,000. Ewoso. And to be say cactus kanama ubetria 130,000 and also there is also possibility of other charges. And technically, kwajibo 100,000 is a car over bow and then 40,000 and loan interest rate component or the cost of borrowing and then 40%. You say a Juma Ben now they baben or Ghana ha over turning around within that short period now being 40%. And they had you will say loan so would be Bosiana no ya 3 months or a month moratorium. After that one no as I said Osha and yeah, charge interest rate of let's say 30%. And some Juma for the whole 1 year or so.
Okay.
It keeps reducing. And genuinely businessmen within this country are suffering. And no can cover so much of unemployment at the aban. And it's a businessman. Let me say I'm a capital 50,000. I would decide that me managing in kitchen na me just survive me and my family. Then some akwaje bank bosia I expand na be family me capital na eden e dey free mensem. So there is a general challenges within the economy. Yamon paye say you betime to na mo ama niema asesa ntentem. Anya ne sa the pace na aircon ade achi bia wotie ye tie mo wiane anopa ye offices ya enkofo ba ho ene eden din komo ekasa the suffering of Ghanaians empire bone say eniema besesa enimanimu ya no man
explain this idea way ma mene metie for last week na mene madam for baako a wono eye sofo na was a businessman. In fact, we imported television sets at the back Ghana. Na was it wakra TV sets bebre at the aba. Wako ya wako kuyi ne container no duties in kwano over 80,000. For that reason, no ne bank wani omudi jumano as at the time na over 30,000. Ewo na account ni mo. Enti okoye say will apply loan of 50,000 at the asoni sikane so. Now, what the bank told him, and it's a 50,000 application now, what they are bano, okay? For safe guarantee, one more the 30,000 at the beton chain. Now, one more sanso at 5,000 Ghana cedis for insurance for the loan now, wababe aquano. So, in effect, Obia wano pay 50,000 Ghana cedis. At the asoni 30,000, generally, what can in our boom. Yede when ma yeti 30 ato nchen yesa beti 5,000 e dia ye insurance ene dia keka aka ho nyina for the fear say e bia yede ma wa na wantimi atua generally wo wie ye no na wo calculate a sika nkasa e beba ne nsem ye loan no is around 15,000 to 20,000 which is still not carrying him to be able say obe clear ne niema no. Why are the banks adapting such strategies? I mean, how will it be able to cushion the business environment? In that effect.
Mr. Speaker, you will how you are mania na yanyantum as a mine na ya embark on a lot of reforms here. The BIA better radio so akasa you are near the ato.
Okay.
And yet the two also the problem no a beko from just 1 week. Said ye anopebia no. You recycle your how in the different form near Becania than near to a dear na Obama banks no a to sana mon.
Yes.
The kind. The liquidity question I would be Kabusami Amichiri mono. A form a part of the thinking of the banks. Say Sikasam Widen to get a liquidity a meme bank in Kogu. Oh Baba G Bosiani Bibi Kwa the Eddie Aqua. Na makacha say wo fa usika ni biye den eto ho in banking terms ye fe na lien na wo de eto ho no the thinking of a banker is that eba boa no ama na enya liquidity
okay
ebe save no. The point number 2 is that eba boa no ama na secure ni loan no enti say wadan fu asema ye kan or kwaji loan of 50,000 ya kacha say on fa lien of 15,000 to assume say or this kana ampono okonese wa ama bank ni lose 50,000 15,000 e da so ye den e da for the bank no we secure no. The point number 2 is that we must have to 5,000 e de akwa insurance. I mean add this only moment insurance no ya na mpimpi apply is whereby any pan free mu or you become permanently incapacitated.
Okay.
But say you we jane and when the insurance companies will not pay. And as part of our risk mitigation measures, our bank, we put so much measures in place. Say, or no, I'm fanajumana and kotochacha. Na dear chia, when one a jumana iodine, a buying about closing it down. It was then shaya, a more thing, ever to amount. If you need the lieno, bois for recovery of the loans and that of liquidity situation. Mamenka say, so can you na boma enye good situation by adia ba koso akofa sa niema we aba emre wo ma ke betime di ho nkoma akọ enimpa eso boils down to the Ghanaian attitude. Se Ghana ni eje bosia empempi our thinking is that sikana ye koje no eye loan. Mr. Speaker, won hu bia obitimi kwaji loan no de akoto party e wo krom ha. And emrana esese kebabo banks no ho ban ama womadina recover omu loans in 10 term. It passed through so many difficult processes. Assuming say nipa ni default necessary de ko court wa ekwaji usika and go through a lot of challenges. And banks like I said, omu risk measures omu de niama na hyehyaya toto wa on go through that challenge no kwa mpo ansana enti day one na obaje bosia no opekwan bi so secure the investment no dey den or dey man me give say as a online solution we need to move forward. The government and the people, we must change our orientation. The way yadjene esitie ewo obisika ho. Ghana for yadjene about obisika enye the papa apart from yedie no you be there by a while we need to change and we also need to make a reform near the situation na ye wom no said the beya a prayer fast with Jebosia a bedding a bear for na omo so Jebosia no so no omu betimi atua so that bank be mabosia woni se kofi bedi no antua me de be kwa kwhye amade mu ni nyina account na interest rate na den akosoro no system na betete so abafom na mo man na tima fa ntuma pefra.
Very well. Now just under 1 minute, what will be the way forward for the government and the sector now? Say commercial banks na suffer say how much more rural banks savings and loans for any microfinance for no womo agigi susun kakra ne ade no womo so be den.
Very difficult. And say the mechanic say and more about need to restore back the economy no they should fast track it na intimi eme healing ho so we ka say we kwa specific aban no kofa sika we mra na nye say if the whole economy has not changed its current forms na and fa ho investment bi abaye be den ebeko
me bisa because na ye say IMF sika ye ba ye anke be cushion ne makakra. Because even as we speak, the third trend, is about coming. And they are yedin komo IMF and paying for Ghana. Womo share your books money are there. And after say you receive the first trend, second trend, ye call for third one, urgent management approval, any board approval, no, still and having any significant impact on this sector, any more operations womo undertaking.
No, Mr. Speaker, impact a bit minimal. So okay. Ghana for person motiasia, and now no pay young dollar rate. Very, very, very sad. And minu him say Ghana's economy 2 major things pa e bia ho kire bo man we mu the dollar rate and cost of fuel. And for one nation say pa aban wo de beto. As soon as the dollar rate begins to CD begins to depreciate. Emma dollar nya hoden sene CD na and she bia Ghana ni bia ye bia no na tete aside den apansam. As soon as petrol bo be kosoro drivers ebe increase omu fuel and I say omu fare e de ama passengers buy ya no plan bia obi putting in place bia no na destabilize it. Probably everything the games have account, but in kasa. Intisani mam the dollar and the CD relationship no must strengthen. But if you ask me, the first 2 tranche of the IMF bailout na abano. Even though CD na idea, but still, we pace na CD ni go to depreciate na. It raises much concern. Sasa ban ye be before than the current IMF and the World Bank arrangement, because it looks like just a drop of water in an ocean.
Yes, because so far you're receiving $1.2 million.
Yes. I'm just last week World Bank is $300 million. Yes. Yet at the HBR Ubi Beka said the new finance minister last week. Amane Kase so what check CD performance as against the major currency. He cited by as at February ending, the CD had only depreciated by 9%. Me as an economist and as a banker, it raises so much concern to me because so we say a trend or your economy need the way the shape ACTR and December yaboga phone from an area then ever and CD need to me then ejina. But fee as a December crown, next CD never so ye then and again. Businessmen never catch or say, ye did bring a year, omu 12 can cofa near my bibri. On except say Abram Becase Omukwaje on credit in December after Umatonwi Amomo repatriated to an island Ako. But currently, because say a farming season, the normal businessmen hold the importation sakra, no a hawa economy BCI. And having at the back of our mind these 2 scenarios, and the third is IMF World Bank support na ben na na se cedi no egusu depreciate a esesa aban no etena sibim no review what is actually wrong with the system, because despite all this support, Ghana for say going to IMF was the lender of last resort.
Exactly.
But you could no. So, see now who then pan air performer.
Very well. I'm grateful, but we'll be looking forward to having you in the studio. Now, yenin komoni ye pa esan the lender situation. Any acquire Ghana for so pay back their loans. I mean, they say in Crawford, especially the business sector. And I'm grateful for your time. Why? So medase and Prince Obri Yeboah, a economist and a banking consultant on the major issues are happen within Ghana's banking sector and the business sector. No, and yeni wedi ho encommon. But mind you, a few way a year abattoir afe. It is a political year, and decisions beyond buying so be take beyond implications. But generally, business community in Ghana banking sector say but liquidity set banks in the big cresika na wokoho no ma wo pe loan na yenye bidia ma no at a very minimal rate of interest. I mean, ababe a little bit a challenge for that particular sector. Now, some because a business community ma yenko na yentie the chief executive for the Kama Group. Yeba yeno betua so edi nkomo. Ma yentiera.
I am a pensioner, and all my money, I must confess, I know I'm on air. The money that I saved to take care of my pension time has been taken over by the banking cleanup. So I don't have my money to support such a wonderful book. And if I tell how much that I saved for over 30 years to take care of my position now, you weep for me. I have one of the best pharmaceutical manufacturing companies, WHO standard in Tema. But because my money has been locked up and they cannot give it to me, I'm having problems with my overheads. I'm telling you, either GRA is on your neck, or electricity company has come to put off your light, or yeah, bro. I am a pensioner, and all my money, I must confess, I know I'm on air. The money that I saved to take care of my pension time has been taken over by the banking cleanup. So I don't have my money to support such a wonderful book. And if I tell how much that I saved for over 30 years to take care of my position now, you weep for me. I have one of the best pharmaceutical manufacturing companies, WHO standard in Tema. But because my money has been locked up and they cannot give it to me, I'm having problems with my overheads.
Kessben 92.9FM.
Either GRA is on your neck, or electricity company has come to put off your light, or yeah, bro.
And that is Dr. Maakye Kubi, chairman at the Kama Group, speaking in that effect, saying, sir, I mean, businesses our challenges. Now, when the Kama Group a battle a year in Roye, my Ghana, one of Ghana's biggest pharmaceutical companies, one more businesses I would be bringing, so it's me boy, but no. Business and complaining bitterly about the situation say either say one only seeker allocate because of the haircut any domestic debt exchange program and so any they buying and yet government agencies need the SSO ECG will come in with their tariffs na afe GRA so aba say one more eba bejijomo de ni nyina no compounded problems but ma yenkwa homane so na many Professor Kwame Ajenim Boateng and Konkodi and Komo. Now the challenges are a woho say at quite so and politically as I say about FSO and managing one or a political science lecturer and then head of the faculty of law and governance a year the King's University now and pay meneno any Komo. Prof Otemenka, good morning and pom to say
good morning, Mr. Speaker, and pom ye na also.
Eradia don't miss him here, pa. Now, Prof, it's been a very long time.
No, Mr. Mamen Kura, Asembako. may lecturer Faculty of Law, Governance and International Relations.
Okay.
And I'm double as Quality Assurance Director. I'm a head of department.
Okay, very well. That is fine.
Acting Dean for some time.
Okay, acting Dean for some time. Thank you. Prof, I'm grateful, sir, Anope Yenyao. And first off, there is a comparison, sir, Abai Ateki a measure be somewhere last week. Abai Elanche Smart Schools. Abai are you ready, sir, or procure tablet. Ede ama eye Ghana and Kuala womo ya adisua fo nyina na aboa ma ye womasua ho nsem no akwanim. In fact, the syllabi teacher for the trade textbooks ahodo ne ade nyina no eye incorporated onto the laptop. Enti ofa ete say the wafa book na and Kuala ne de beye bibia. Now the business community is saying that there be this is a government wire domestic debt exchange program. Sa sika na wo de kwakwa undertake such a project, no. I mean, in boosting the economy, no, and yet and no na ye hear say. Enti anga abain was sikebia as a senka one more edge haircut, one more abain I extended one more maturity periods in terms of bond, no, especially the banks. Abain could have used that same money. What the years our project in Nanko de Tria Musika ni biama womo na ama womo ho ahen han womo. This is the argument ever up. In a very difficult situation, Abai Ewom say. As a political scientist, you know, Mami Ntio on how Abai Betimi are taking some measures to mitigate the situation.
Yo, Minister Speaker, Medase, I mean, chair what chief phone na the demonstration Juma Moye Magana. Yes, Abai be to koso aye niama ama animuko Abba. Na you hear situation say ya. Never be over. Me kwa United Nations club. Me cancer pass. In the woman say haircut. Near Womudiama African country. Say onion Western country. Umbet me ama. Womo pension. Womo ye senior citizens near the adeno. You bet to me. I encourage you almost omunyesa ma womunko for. And they are a big thing. Pile simeniso. At the appropriate time, no, mechano. And the business men no kasa. Me just so mudi meka. Is there? Say economy no yen to me and grow. Na ya priority. Niema ehia ebe to me a boy kesino. Na ye kaso way yebeye way. And niema ye piwa why say ye. Nenso say ye kunse yebeye way kind. And some ya koye way. IMF I koye free education no kra wo mo say ye review. Unfortunately a binom review no wo mo ntiase if you say me ka say JM ka sempa na e mu binom aka ho asem. Wo mo say review no che say wo twem ntisa menim dictionary a wo mo ho review no wo. Na ehia say ye to ye bo. Na sanya yesi introduce system no abayina 2017-18 na ye mubinom kasa hon bebre say constitution no say gradual progressive engineer ya kese pa no nka ye suku adan na nka shift system ne ade no nka ye no afrim na nkola nya ba bi tena no mo ho to mo na fe ye de niema aka no ba yes they say syllabus almost sign near the adina up to now we be teacher for almost syllabus bra who he so nti here say education minister no or autonomous now more advise government ni ye so when as say ni aye can say ya mate over 400,000 tablets aba nti akoye late kaka na businessmen new businesswomen can say oh kamuma ye skate kaka na ye honhen ye na pensioners zunyo muska kaka aye late ze wo makoto ne ama na wie ndi priority na ma ho so ndi ayade a esa ban oto ne bo kaka na ohwe ne ama ne ehia na ye hu ye priority betumi aso niema mu kakra se ahoto beba na economy nzo ye betumi aye amana gina so nti kakra metumi aka no briefly nini.
Now, Prof, in a situation banking sector no face liquidity challenges. Now, business community also faces some level of challenges because monetary policy rate was through lending, borrowing, ababeye costly. Now, the question is that your political season, Monso, so far, IMF at this base over 1.2 million US dollars at their Mayan, but yet you see they no ever form. Now politically decisions are buying a taken what are the metrics it says buying you so because and you may be also a one I mean it will go against you in terms of vote will be actually December Ghanaians will be queuing up say one more air kwakwakotoaba abai any dance say in terms of politics.
No, many Africa me that's very. The idea is some of your chikura na banya wo hoi mfie tone na kino ne amanye eno na ese mo hye mo kana meti kura obi wo hozo mo kura second time na me gidi se peace council any IGP any mpanimfo kandia eyeno ayesa almost top sa minister of education agric no me free kaka nsema okase we don't obi won kra yemfa ma no who are you we are why the people the power political power belongs to the people and nsema hu hia no enye se omo kan bi kra ma ne ba na efu amanfo obo nemom as a peace council didn't nancy fam no mo kan sem omo friend no mo kata sema okan hia obi akoye kuku wo animu me wo America John officer corps Marines na school no na here America say and some en here say ebema your country no asudi bi aba no e say you free your politics when you fear mo twe enfie so no nya wa ye nyina unim obi anim so ba ye nsema na woka se wonye family and friends government ni ade nyina oba taxes mobile taxation to production this and that anu bia obi anku se ne siko and 1 year we ya kai ya tablets ni ade tablets is kura wo din kura no school kura wombejan ho enti me hu ne value ni nim yenti a priority mo say amanfo ti enuase ko school na wo mun to mean school adan ni blocks ni ade amanfo criticize ye enu nim ko anga say school no kura ankola nya ba di ko school enti asanka boshia o mo share yes president also basically by 300 senior high schools in Adibia, and we are in
and Prof, in effect, a bunch should concentrate on a near Maakye, right?
The is a do your chance, all the new ones, Bebema, and to me, my near economy soon to me in Kosovo. So, Hunty, a answer about kakra what me ayeno obo ban na education no ya ne pet project near the other yes I'm also on review and they say I will to ayi anyama p agumi how do you review it who reviewer ebia anyama bi wo kwa it's okay na anyama bi wo kwa sense san ebam and to meanwhile no makoto tablets bocho ya modeba enti yes omotie abano amamfo kasa omontie kakra sebe ya nsesan betumi aba ya brabom as Ghanaians.
Very well. Prof Anope, I'm grateful for your time.
Yo medasi speaker nyankopo nhira mu na omomo ho ban mo na nenso ese moye enti omomo kokodro na monye nesa.
Amen. Yeah, that's it. I don't pay. And Professor Kwame Appiah and Meneno Eddie and Common bringing us to exactly 37 after 8. Kessben Uti radio so this is 92.9 on TV, channel 364 with DSTV, so channel 121 Go TV, and feel free to air your digital terrestrial platform. So Anope Unya, me de Kwame Appiah Kubi, Mr. Speaker. I'm highly grateful, sir. Anope what joining and patch up my own messages no Emra 0550 596 929 0550 596 929 0550 567 929 your number sa no pay ye de edi juma WhatsApp and SMS all the messages ni nyina no efa so ba ye beja kenkan ni nyina e de ama join your live Facebook Kessben TV stream me and Kessben FM 92.9 and so facha me stream me and pay enti obeti me e de o messages ni nyina no afa so aba ma me fa seda ni bi ema St. Louisa local rice for na and pay one more adaroma pacho one more aboa asoya sinye pa St. Louisa local rice there pacho if ye bi mu uhia bi ewo ho eye Ghana mo a womo aye ewa heya eye papa anuncio ede onwasi ho a eche ebusuan chemfa obi atimi edibi panyin di enkwala nso edi anopei uye obi a wonu anuane eton ana uye obi a okọ event ahodo ase programs ahodo ase ekoye anuane a pacho emo a wonu ano esese we use St. Louisa local rice ebeboa oye pa ebema nkrofo etu egu aduane ne so etimi atobi ede amount se wankasa wotobi dia ana obetimi ede ho adanse anopei ko memo shops ahodo ni nyina mo obenya bi ewo ho afi mekom shop bi a ben obi a oborem a o se St. Louisa local rice womo ebema obi ato na etimi aboa oye pa na mpacho tiewe se uye obi a o pese afi na wo be show business ase na o pese wutu monyi bi ne dodo mu na wonso ton enya mfaso dia ubehia 5,500 Ghana cedis pe na wodi aba wo mo be ma mo ne bi ne dodo mu pa na wetimi to be akwakoton o shop dada nso a obetimi agibi agum na afi ya ma directions na enkrofo etimi aba ho aba beto ebeboa uye pa se open dodo mu atu ampacho brand crime abeka La Paz wo mo any Eco Bank no ana eben police container no enche hwa pe anasa se anopay for wo mo on 0277 45 742 0277 45742 and after 0546 242343 na oni St. Louisa local rice for any enkomo anope na womo ebejo so abwa uye pa 40 after 8 asedane bin so eye Emma's Global Link Limited for the ampacho akwantu ho nsem nyina no abeyefo abeyemre esanse ehon hyehyɛ papa ni nyina no Emma's Global Link Limited for ana eboa ma watimi etu kwan no pacho uye student ana adisuani opese otu kwan kwa ama na ne koto awadisua so a o schools no applications ni nyina fani na ekoda Emma's Global Link Limited for afi wo ye obi a wa ukra onsa no adwuma onya abetu kwan akoto abrabo no so abonane oni Emma's Global Link for enkasa wo mo beje ayenhyehyɛ ni nyina e de ama o ti amanane oni nkrata de wo de ye adwuma ene de ma kwan ma wotina man no so ana ekroni so no anopay oni ni nyina bidia oni Emma's Global Link Limited for eni enkomo na wo beje so aboa oye pa anopay ofra wo mo a wo mo ebeje so mpacho o kuma ne mpatemu a Emax for office no ewo asafo labor wo ne senate office no edi enhwe ni mo obankran so a White Cross Junction ewo Weja Kaswa main road no eso wo ne West Africa Decor House ana edi enhwe ni mo anopay ofra wo mo a na afi wo mo agel so 0504 203401 0504 203401 and after 0535 502499 na oni Emma's Global Link Limited for any enkomo anope womo ebejo so pa na oposi ni na dro no imbustable mixture anope se wutie me we immune system no aye weak honam dua no akwamo no a ekutia yare bia no mpacho aye weak pa eno nti yare bo wa na account e de wato form anope de se wo ye nyina no ene se obenonom imbustable mixture for endro no ebi nipa wo ye no posi ni enti ye friend oposi ni na dro no correct papa kama wo mo ahwehwem agye atomo se onoma ebusti immune system ne pa heba shop bia ebe wo bia no anope uremu a wo se open imbustable mixture endro no ebi ubenya bi ato na watimi ayiso se open dodo mu a anope fra wo mo ewo 0246 208496 0246 208496 na oni imbustable mixture for any enkomo anopay na wo mo bejo so adom aboa uye pa. Watch 42 after 8. Mamenko na mene Dr. Kanisa any enkomo emra na from Ponziga atinase. Mene doc we are mebane so na afe yene o edi enkomo atoa so. Mamema doc achi na memano akwaba. Doc machi. Na Kanisa for hoye.
Mr. Speaker, yanyadum Kanisa for bia hoye.
Kanisa for bia hoye oho.
Na mede nchirake sie ebe mo bibia uti wa fidi kisie enne anopai efree Kanisa Natural Herbal Center ye ba ye di apomoden chire ene ye dinam na ye boa sede nipadua kwa bia no betima fa ne ntoma pade aye den e de efra. Mr. Speaker, eno ene ye ade a eda Kanisa yakoma so a ye kwa aporo e o Ghana fa na babibia. Kanisa Natural Herbal Center minia ye di Kanisa Herbal Mixture, Kanisa Herbal Mixture e de abadwa mai so. Na Kanisa Herbal Mixture no eyedura when eyedura padua kwa no ema yade ahoro bebre ha oni padua kwa no eyifri ni padua kwa no ema ni padua kwa ne timfa na ntoma paye den edifra yo yade ahoro pie ha edi padua kwa no yo yade e friend say infections bit say gonorrhea and syphilis say bet na ni padua kwa no mu a ema ni padua kwa ifa hodie yade e friend say gonorrhea at times oyo ba utimunya sanso na oye be ma utimiye den otiminya saa yade e friend say gonorrhea ibet na oni padua kwa imu a se wo yo ba etima watenka a ye friend say libido ni timiye den etimotiko yo ba bi wo ho a emre bi o ta complain aya na manemu ye mehene maseke kame eduru mre bi a enso bi gume se wo yo ba the moment ya be won say wase ye ohina waseke ka o eduru mre bi a be won say watenka a ye friend say libido no ateko eduru pempen so bi a ni be ma hye na wo te pains e wo wase no ma da di pefe say enam sane yade a ye friend say gonorrhea and syphilis no eno ana take control e wo ni padua kwa no na eno na Kanisa Natural Herbal Center ye ka kire say tu anamo Codrastos ni chemical shop bi ebe nwu bia no ka chen so pe Kanisa Herbal Mixture eno na ye adura e treat infections saa yade we yade bia say bet no oba so koduru mre bia oba bi ho nanam nyina ye kuro no no ankasa oye oba no kra ntimi mfa ne nsan ko na senko wo hye na se ekosi sense oni be ma be hye na wadre Kanisa Herbal Mixture oba bi ho a wonye yade ye friend say candidiasis a ma friend say odepoa how se wo yo ba emre bia meka say candidiasis enya ne tranbred sebi imprediason oba wa himfi ho da bi enya ne tranbred no na because of say enam noma bi ya wudi ye mfemfremade adokodoko bi ya wudi ye nti no etin the white my friend say odepoa ye den e de brawo anase infections bi ti say gonorrhea na syphilis ya meka ho asemi say na so kodum pempen so bi ni se wantima nhwe so ampe ne pomasi bra utinye yade ya friend say candidiasis bi mane ye den e mane ye because of say gonorrhea net na so che edrum mra bi etim severe white my friend say odepoa ni nyina nkamfuwa no adura medi ho adanse ma o adura mekamfo ma o eye Kanisa Herbal Mixture eno ene ye adura ebetu candidiasis odepoa white no ebe ye free so amani padua kwa na nkasa tima fa ne ntoma pade aye den e de fra product ni ye Kanisa Herbal Mixture aduro no eye Kanisa Herbal Mixture mekamfo ede mo pa ene be ma bia se wo yo pa e bia bosome so menses ni ntimi maye na menses ne ba nanu nansa na astopo nyankopon bo osoro ba asase nyankopon bo ba in such a way se menua ba wotie mi enne anopai nyankopon bo ba in such a way se wadru mpan fie so nko ade a bosome ni duru a so timbu nsa otimi nshreti yo ba bi wo ha emro hya se so obu ni nsa na onya ne menses 7 good days sa na otwedi ampo nyankopon ye den edima no enne current ya me no kasai ne menses 7 days ni ntimi mabiem na ne menses no be about 3 days 2 days na ne menses na yede na stopo your baby si wo ho getting to 3 months 4 months ni oba ni ntimi menstruate ntimi nya ne menses na ni nyina nkamfua no aduru ebeboa wo ebe supporto ebeboa ma menses na tuma ba ne kwan so eye Kanisa Herbal Mixture eno ene ye aduru a mekamfo ma oba bi o menstrual pains menstrual disorders o wa fichikromu hawo waduru ye Kanisa Herbal Mixture Kanisa ne Herbal Mixture eyedura esiesi oba ebo oba ho ban your baby so ho wa pra wo so many good years eno na medi kankan ye no so onye yade friend say infections gonorrhea and syphilis na eduru ba bi etin stop wa wo oba bi ho ni be ma hia na bema no hunso na friend suspense esen koko roba wa nemu ekosha onwensen no na ne hunso na return back enti ekoba ne sa oba no din so betima wensen your baby so ho na hunso bema no hunso ko all right enso anwensen ntimi mma wa pra wo so many good years awo ntimi mma o your pa wadre kanisa heba mescha oba bi so ho onwensen enso anwensen ntimi ngina ebeka ni secha we se wanya miscarriage onwensen 1 month 2 months na anwensen na yeden na say wadre kanisa heba mescha the location be ba wi ebesen ato yen komo twetwen ne so o person ye twetwen komo betima pusi ya homa trofo 024 788 74 36 024 788 74 36 and 020 299 09 43 020 299 09 43 pusi sa homa trofo na kanisa fo ebejo so na pomodin chire bia bro de meka yi so kra no Mr Speaker ebinyanto boase de ayeden Eddie amount. Mr. Speaker, yen share yen mema no. Any mema no so monya infections, bit say gonorrhea and syphilis. Ye ka gonorrhea ho asem and syphilis ho asem enyom eman kwa na nya dabi. Ya dear friend say gonorrhea no so no at times bema so timnya bi mane yeden e mane yi se bema o gonorrhea na no oba ne koshia na otindi yade no ma be oba no straightforward. Sans no oba no wo bi na no bema koshia na otindi yade de yeden o de ma bema no. Yo bema bi ya wanya infections a ye friend say gonorrhea no at times oduru mre bi oti pains e woni bema mu eduru mre bi obon se ne bema mu hyehye no ne bema mu ye ne ya odwonso oti pains se wo ye bema na wo sa ha no ma koto kanisa heba mescha yo bema bi wo ho a ya dear friend say syphilis and I say gonorrhea no ama ne bema no sorti ne bema no ehi eduru mre bi obon se rashes ya gunu bema no kawana no wadre kanisa heba mescha sa ya dear we bet na bema so kodum pempen so bia gonorrhea etima obema mu pien so the moment na okọ private ya watching no obon se ensufita bit sperms epie fru bema na no egu agyanai bia no so ni nyina ya dear emo ni padua kwa no koto kanisa heba mescha sa ya dear wait na so kodum mre bi ekodum pempen so bia se wo ye bema kra ma wo ye mre e wo mpam yo mema bebre ho mo ye mre wo mpam mo nya sexual weakness o mo mema se no enkonkan so ni oba no ready mu o de boss within 3 to 4 minutes na wajamu ono ankasa no na sede ni na kade se bema no ntimi nye enti se wo ye bema na se wa ho keka e wo mpa so no enkonkan se wo ye bema obo se wo ntimi service oba no ye se wo ye bema o de boss no wajamu a wadro ye kanisa heba mescha eno ene ye adura ebe supporto amwatumadi umemsem product no eye kanisa heba mescha adro no eye kanisa ne heba mescha ko any pharmacy shop chemical shop bia bengu bia no ram se o wakra obetima ko Cobidian nana boache hellos heba ana se DD heba on sabetima ka bi wo akra o kanshi drugley on sabetima ka bi ho amana ye obi o kuma se onko deni heba misty cornac apidank e o kuma se on sabetima ka bi ho amana ye den amana ye sanso na betima ko Freddy Mens o kwa on sabetima ka bi o takwa ko owas abibidro fie e o takwa on sabetima ka bi ho amana ye takrade e mensani die heba e o takrade mankesim e Jeff heba e o mankesim se wo sunyan a wo sunyan Komoze pharmacy Green Light pharmacy Senti chemist e wo sunyan ana cap heba obi wo sunyan a opeka kanisa product ni bi atu akoton onfo na ni nche cap heba so wo brekum akọ newborn chemicals e wo brekum obi wo tachiman onko kanisa heba shop e wo tachiman ana se asantoa heba on so tachiman ho a any pharmacy shop chemical shop bi abengu bia no ram sisi am no kase man kase ma mo drugstore bi din da bi drugstore bi abengu bia no ram on sabet maka kanisa fu nipa bi ho amana ye den amana ye o person ye twetwen koma apusi ya ho atrofo 024 788 74 36 024 788 74 36 yo ye papa no ye maame no bi si wo ho a omonya severe pains ye beka ni secha we se omonya sisi yade kwankro se wo yo pa anasa wo ye bema ekoduru mre bia be wo se osisi mu hyehye wo ye ekodum pempen so bia be wo se wotena wo ntimi ntena wo sisi na sisi no aka nipadua kwa ne de na to fama ontimi nkọ na waye den waba wodro ye kanisa heba mescha nipadua kwa bia be wo se wo sisi ya wo ya wo sisi mu hyehye wo wotena nye ye wo nante nye ye odrum pempen so bia bon se oto asinti ni twetwen ananse taache wonan ne wonsa tayo otitiriti wadre kanisa hebo mixture ekodrum mrebia the moment ebon se ananse che wonan ne wonsa yo otitiriti no no mada di pefe se blood ni ntimi security moja ni ntimi ni afurusani woni padua kwa no ye because of say nyankopon nimdiem no nyankopon di entini a friend say veins enante ni padua kwa no nyina na the moment na moja ni nso ne woni padua kwa no ntimi ni afurusani ye moja ni bia kroto e won ntini no entim pempen so esenka moja ni adwuma duru no entimi nkoduru ho eni tubahwe a ye maame no modu omum pan mfie so anankasa no yankasa ye mranche ni bi kura no at times asema mo kan se o ninsa ene ne nan aye ne titiriti anansi ache ne nan ne ninsa wadro ye kanisa heba mixture oto asintin twetwen onsa na onaye otitiriti kanisa ne eye dura ebebo ni padua kwa no ama ni padua kwa no so atuma fa ne ntuma pade aye den edi efra product ne ye kanisa heba mixture aduro no eye kanisa heba mixture ebo pa ebo bima ebo ni padua kwa bia kanisa heba mixture no eye product ya eye general weapon eye new booster ntu no kanisa heba mixture ko ni padua kwa no mu a emma moja ni nso woni ewo ni padua kwa no etimi dia furusane yi emma kwamwa no so nya hodene e fight tia yade nketenkete e be ka ni padua kwa no dia ide e dia to fam opeson ye hwehwe nkoma apusi ya homatrofo 024 788 74 36 024 788 74 36 Mr. Speaker Nyankopon Shaw
Nyame Shaw so do on Shaw pa yada asenso
station that other radio stations listen to.
Abisia Mamena said that I'm faster than be Dr. Kanisa Timpacho Kanisa Fordray Jibina Yesu Ebebua Uyepa. Mamimfa Asedani be Eclipse Collateral Management na anope one more adaroma woman so abwaye Eclipse Collateral Management a collateral management company anope se utieme na we ejapade rampacho wabon krata e dia to ejapade so se eya asase se ye fie se ye car emubia no mpacho o the document no eba Eclipse Collateral Management for Ede Beye Juma na afi womotu a commission ewo ho enwachi no se open loan Ede free bank bi enso oni collateral anope the sese wo ye nyina no ene se oni Eclipse Collateral Management for ebedin komo na womo ebejo so adomaboa ama collateral wo hwehwe no wonsa etimi akabi anope ko Abakan Street ewo Adenta new site na oni womo eni enkomo fra womo on 0266 999020 0266 999020 na oni womo ni enkomo ana fra 0302 551877 na woni wamo eni enkomo na Eclipse de wamo ebeje wo so think safety and a decent income na Bayport Savings and Loans for Adaroma pacho say nye loans nkwado wamo akwakofa fixed deposit investment no ediaba say u save with Bayport announce say won save ewo hono anopay ubetimi ababeye account holder ewo fixed deposit investment no eho enonti bra na womumie account no emfa pacho fa usika no ebeto ho na womone wo entnase en negotiate interest no we eye investment a wo ye usika no ubetimi de ato ho bosome miensa bosome nsia ananso se afe baako womobeje na afe interest no abaso ede amount usika botine no ye adwuma wo ede maw anopay oni Bayport Savings and Loans for any sansa wasoi na ebeboa uye pa mpacho wo offices ni nyina across the country ubetimi akobia mu na embom no de ye kan ne kase pa no mpacho eno no ewo kokomlemle ATTC school no enchen hwa anopay ji wo numbers no na frɛ wo ofregi ma obeto ne boase obecheche mu kama asembise bia wo bia no ubisa no wabeto ne boase eyiwa no ye pa na womo investment account yi mpacho ubie bi na wode wo ho hyema eye adwuma ye na eboa ema wo sika nso enyini ede maw anopay only Bayport Savings and Loans for any nkomo on 0245 153283 0245 153283 and now for 0246904753 na oni Bayport savings and loans for any enkomo anopay fa ho hyem na fixed deposit investment onso bra beyebe ebeboa oye pa mame embra na from Ziga so na mintie no sima do na mensankoye ejuma embra na Maakye say
yeah Kwame Jusu
empomboko
nyame adomara kwa happy Easter
thank you so the other who could see ya so for ketu awoba
Kwame na nyase ketu
very well na mamintio na yensa bra me ye ejuma na obata mpanso ewo ho a ya ne no bedi nkomo mamintio
yeah Kwame the banking issue ya be
yeah
Kwame the first speaker na kasai no
Obriyeboa
Mr. Obriyeboa I have learned something from him lot from him. I kept quiet and at a point Ubekasa was lecture hall and I would have wished that and Kia Baba studio has it so that you will learn more teach us or lecture us much better than today because I was learning seriously Kwame sir there happens is here set this up and then there was no need to clean. They do the clean up.
Banking sector clean up.
Yeah, banking sector clean up. Kwame, listen to me. The banking sector clean up nearby. Some of us were made to understand. Say they cleaned up the banking sector, because of mismanagement, and some of them because of greed. 18 year that clean up exercise.
Yeah.
So far. Capital Plus Bank, for example, which tend to be Capital Bank at that time, sponsoring Ghana Premier League, Dr. Otabe's bank. We made to understand the reason why that bank, their license was revoked. And they say, when the banking was facing problem, there was a time. Government gave them money, financial injection, to inject into the bank, to revive the bank again.
Yeah.
But they used Sikano Abind Yamomo financial bank. And they could establish another bank. Ama the original bank was still suffering. You understand? So I catch him and said, such a bank, Uruboku on license, Kwame, can your problem?
Yeah. Because Omo needs share.
So. But Kwame, nobody complained. Say banks say collapse Omunano. Ubia for Sikada. May honestly speaking, I was following this keenly at that time. Because if you are into current affairs, you have to record it. You follow issues so that you'll be able to tell people, update and all this stuff. Kwame, me no, man da say, obi complain say, Mako bank we say, though despite that, papa no upon greedy, I buy me a TS say, ye the sika mom so I'm injecting our banking sector, or banking, not banking, sorry, no, or they establish a different bank. But we did not hear somebody was complaining, said the sika come down. Me, I never agreed with Appiah Mensa. Number one. How Nam1 was using his money in this country, wasting a very same kofu at depositors or man on Becca and Kofobia. They did not contribute a quota, a dime, and I say contribution Kwame. Ultimate developer bank into any form, any BBA Kwame, and the man was pending on them uselessly. When there was a video, I buy Becca wedding, no Jina Bronson, so no $2. Edugunuso, the cars or Thomas celebrities, the house that you bought for Shatawale, showing off all this stuff. That's fine. But Kwame, me mantiso be a complaint say best bank did sikara. Upon all this, me I disagree with Appiah Mensa. But I did not see a single person I do what can say until say you better touching men's gold.
No, uncle
Hanin Sika. So if
it be an uncle you be drew her.
Kwame and baby can say if send the future futuristic, futuristic. Financial experts. No, say future no. Bibiti say Pram ne noble dreams Kwame. We could have find a way. Say this has created an employment. We say Abua and Kofo. So let us support the guy to do things properly. Especially whereby abide by your Becca say the guy is operating illegally. We could have find a way. I did this guy on a good track. Because at a point an Appiah Mensa, no. The American watcher say, come just imagine. We have cleaned up this banking sector. And we facing a problem. You face it in the way back. No? Yeah. That problem is gradually coming. What is the sense in collapsing the banks? And imagine that, listen to me. 34 banks were reduced to 23. Means that 11 banks were collapsed at that time. Some banks need collapse nationwide 11 banks. So no be out 200 workers. Times 11 at that time. Look at Nipa Momakotrefi. Was Dr. Otabe Diana ne collapse? We gave them money to inject. We could have done the same, Kwame. Per the money that we used, cleaning up the banking sector. Imagine that 347 microfinance institutions collapsed at that time. 15 savings loans were collapsed. And 8 finance houses were also collapsed. Amount to 370 financial institutions. So 370 financial institutions. If at that time we were supporting them and prosecuting and confront Omaye to say the idea at Twissin. And a yama banks no and wo and ye pesicabidia room and a year structure ye ama at the naive worker not to honor ye innocent was saying naive. What do you say? No ma air cost for bank no or maintaining a duma and only 1,000 Ghana cedis a month and I come in. I'm telling you, Neke. I listened to Gabi Ochedako, and he said that look, when the cleanup exercise was going on, they went to Akufo-Addo's house, president, and he was crying. President didn't like the idea. The president didn't like, say, you clean up the banking sector and Kofu Lusu job at that time. He said Akufo-Addo took a pain and he was crying at that time. But if we are taking a pain, and there are some people coming. We could have maintained the banks and prosecute the people. Imagine that. See, I can say, Ecophobia no more Bank of Ghana. Dr. One per time. Monitoring evaluation was 0. Because in the banking sector, when you want to establish a bank, there's a duly and the legal process you have to go through. The money that you have to get. And some what your establish your offices. And some of the banks, they did not even pay that money. Friends, who were, that's the prime rate. Friends, and conform now for would you establish your offices in the regions and start collecting. You collect do level be the bayo say. People were doing this as a banks. And conform now, yes, Madam, your father said, Deputy Bank of Ghana, former Deputy Bank of Ghana Governor, Madam AC Amira Filidino, he made us to understand that these people will be prosecuted. Because AC Awazi, he said, that banks now manage bank no banks no. These people be prosecuted, including Kofua, no more Bank of Ghana, and they conspire and connived with some people to establish banks with empty banks and educate Kofusika. They'll be prosecuted, and the best there, Kwame. If only one person at Western is the only person that be prosecuted and was suffered there, then how come that we collapse the banks? If you cannot prosecute and confer or be a corporate, how come that we collapse the banks? Today, people are saying, I like the way you question our kind. We are in election year.
Yeah.
Now, assembly fear. Come now, assembly fear. MPP reduced 500,000 votes. It could be
in 2020.
In 2020 elections. It could be that way. It could be, Kwame. It could be. Jamaica, what I say.
Yeah.
So please, we have to be very careful. Albino has to find a way to solve the current banking system situation. Now, Kwame, to the people that are saying that the tablet in the bread school for Quran, I don't get Ghanaians. How do we think as a Ghanaians? So, because there's a sector going down, and the different sector are a fund within that sector supporting and upgrading the system, developing the system. What kind of thinking is this? Do we have to think this as a developing country? No, Kwame. Dr. Nkrumah Ebeye said the same thing. That we don't have money. Ghana is suffering. Why do you have to do a Kosovo? Why we can borrow power from somewhere? Today, if you think like that, Kwame, we cannot never move forward. I remember vividly. Let me tell you something, Kwame. Who read UNICEF? United Nations. Yeah, no problem. United Nations. They are saying, when you go to China, 1.4 billion population. 1.3 billion population in India. 2008-2007. Their population was 1.1 and 1.2 respectively. Kwame. Okay, so people are only eating from garbage, and they cannot live up to $1 a day. Only over 500 million from these two countries. But yet, these people were eating from garbage. India for $30 million at the Brand Ghana's FNC presidential palace. Kwame, don't they have a priority? China gave us a grant. They gave us money. $3 billion, Professor Tamil's time. They gave us money to inject into our economy for a year, a major infrastructure project. But people were eating from garbage at that time. We took money, $3 million, this country, and the command Haiti for, say, disaster, 2010. But that time, Potak for strike. At that time.
Very well.
Minister of Education at that time. They were on strike, Potak. So if you don't say, take a radical, a decision, we can never move forward as a country. Let us find a way to solve that, you understand? But it is good. Sa Korabi Obeko School or what tablet. Now Adiana yet we are moving forward. And you know say kind of have crazy and paper. You see your father say paperless. I always swear they can use. It is going all over the world. Paperless digitalization. It was say your textbook, your everything will be on the tablet. You will be having people to service them for you. 450 ebe distribute 1 million. Say a baby aba and what this had in a twice. Move forward as a country.
All right,
let's do that.
Thank you. 12 after 9. Hi, Kessben. My main fast and be Hot Brothers Real Estate for na anope wamwada Roma. Wamonso abwaye pa. Hot Brothers Real Estate for eton sa se e watchopoli ningo pram and afe shy health. Enti se o on crime. And an empatable na opasa si amanso twimbia no ene sodia. between 15,000 ekosi 20,000 no mpacho benya one plot 70 by 100 shenin so say if you da ebe ene memory da ebe nyina no wo mo de mo beko asene nyina eso na afei motimi akwakohwe baby a wo pe no na wo motimi atwa ede amount eno achi wo mo ewo building materials ahodo ni nyina bi ewo ho architectural drawings and designs ana opa wo mo be ye ede amount biodigester any borehole drilling na opa so wo mo ya wo be ede amount wo mo blocks any bricks nyina no ewo wo mo akache eno nti anopai only hard builders real estate for any enkomo obehu wo mo ewo Ashaiman opposite Kakito Junction na anopai woni wo mo ede enkomo 0591 599-006 0591-599-006 and after 0241-665200 na one hard builders real estate for any enkomo anopai na womo ebejo so adomabua wiye pa wacho anopai fidico poultry and animal feed for adaroma womo so abuaye aso yebupa na fidico for ede layer premix no ede aba eno ye nuane nura hodo a ye de efra enkoko a womo tu nkosua no enuane eye ede ma womo kama pa na layer premix no ebeboa moa no ama womo atimi enyi ewa pomodin kwan so na ebeboa womo nso ama womo nkosua womo to no womo ato dudu mu ene akasiye mu anopai uye obi a onye nkoko a ma layer premix no ebi emewo na fafra wo nkoko no enuane no ebeboa wo ye pa eno achi no broiler premix enkoko na ye nye womo ababeri womo nam no anopai uyisu broiler premix no edefra womo nuane a ema womo ho ye den womo nyin ewa pomodin kwan so pa anopai uye obi a oye poultry farmer ma broiler premix no ebi emewo na fafra wo nkoko no enuane ni nyina ebeboa nuane nura hodo a womo hia nyina no ewo mu be na uwi a o de toxin binder no so ede afra se de be ya enuane no ekwa aboa ne system no de enye bia aboa no enhia bia no toxin binder no ebetu ni nyina no ase ede afri ho na atwe ni nyina ede afri aboa ne system nim anopai se enuane nura hodo ye papa na Food and Drugs Authority for ahwehwe hu se eboa nkoko eboa mpreko esan se pig premix nso ewo ho se wo de be from mpreko no anuane no ni nyina no eye correct ai wo Ghana edwaman so a anopai Fidico Poultry and Animal Feed Center for eton enti pachoko ho na wonso koje wo de okọ amrehia tollbooth ewo oyibi dodowa main road no eso a tollbooth no after tollbooth ni nchen ho ape wonsa nifa so obehu omo ewo ho anopai pacho je number si na frɛ wo mo opese wo ye distributor ana woton bi ewo regions a aka ni nyina no a mpacho frɛ Fidico for anopai na wo mo ne wo eni enkomo enhyehyɛ no ni nyina no egu akwan mu anopai frɛ wo mo on 0244 260 190 0244 260 190 ana frɛ 0242 769698 0242 769698 and after 0303 958583 0303 958583 na on Fidico Poultry and Animal Feed Center for any enkomo wambejo so anopai pa 9:15 na wafa wose na tenase every Obatampa Prostate Center for asweye mame emanachi na mema na kwaba ova machi
ya media Kwame
na empomo boko de
me adom ho ya pa
ya da twedi ampo asempa che obe microphone kakra mame na kasegumo mame mamintio emfi Obatampa so ye na prostate hunsem de yenim se mudemu akotini ye pa mamintio wa no pe
yo me da sipi ma achefu suma me che achefu na samreba program we swan pay ampa Obatampa prostate center se de ye edin tie no prostate ya de kwa na mehwe enu na ya me adom amam haduru a eboa ma me de boa amanfo a ewo saate bia nemu na positive ya de a eye mema nko a mema idri be se 40 years ekono na etose eye omo na me ankasa metie bia me pen minim se de ya de no etie ya ne yawa e ka positive a eye honema kwa bi a ebata edwunhwehwa no ho na numu na junsotwa dudu ben ya de ejunso ne free junsotwa ne mu ba ye bema mu no enam enu aso ejuma ba akokora so ne se bema ne oba hia enso na ba oba no ho no prostate gland ne ma ejunso bi boa sa sperms no amani tumi nante ba bema no mu ne bema mu amani ba oba no ho na sa akwa na mu a eho no
Uma ehuno ena bofo frɛ no benign prostatic hyperplasia ana enlarged prostate. Na ehuno a eno na ekoma obi a owo sa condition mu no e ma no dwunso pii anajo. So prostate no huno e fe e basa no a odwunso pii anajo. Eduru ba bi a e ba se dwunso no kan wa ma ho ya ha na odwunso agu ho. Ana se dwunso no kan wa obetumi agina ho kwansi ansana ansana dwunso na ba e be fa America kan ansana dwunso na ba. Ana se e betumi ama friends say obenya ojunso na ojunso no bo na emu ahode no wo fam I weak your friend weak unit stream and now so say e betumi ama ojunso agu ho a wonim se junso de wo e betumi so ama ojunso boja e betumi aka mama sama akofom kra e betumi ama osisi ayoya na enumu na didimu a e bedu ba bi kra no na ojunso e makra a bro for urinary retention na basa no a na say do hospital okwa the next option ho say e be wo e do be so beto bambam mo adwunso afam na no sa yade we ya e ha mema no ena yankopon aye madoma maduru a edu no e shrink prostate na ekese ma sa nsusanso amabodi ni na no eye wo no e shrink no e ma ne kone esini dadam e ma sa nsusanso ya den e ko se nsusanso na osuni na ebe ko ma ni na free ho a unte hwe na eduro no me de ahwe nipa bebre na ahwe nipa bebre me ametie ene me abra na me sasa me dwunso pia na dwuna minim se prostate na mkra minim minti prostate dinda obi na menini ko dingo mo no bo ma me se o menini dingo mo no kan zem ane de se na me so me dwunso pia bia na prostate no na me sasa me pedro me chinchin me ko ha me ko numu ya pa me numu ya pa ko se nkopon ya madom a me kunya medro we me numu ye na me dwunso no esase ekofom integusu ekofom no na one day man dwunso da anajo na msino za na se da minja dro num bia na ekofa oha bi fufu amame na minja nko di hu komo che madam bi no san ete dia ko check me hwese de tie san on so the same problem and on so ko o kan na me ko check ye da bamba technician hwem no se me busan se be man na mai ni se so wo fa o problem wo de opportunity na fa pa uni how I want to make me to see Yankopon a day drew for a camera drew between the jab amanfo. Adam for no cancer me coheno. Me man me man a drone be or cohere ya. Need on the code of Cotesia Sana or on a drono or Tessia or Conome drono. Now or Cotes 100 in the 100 centimeter cube or Cono on Medun Bakwan or sign Cotesena a do 70. And me Medunam demand as he said no man opposite Ejaye and other people. And to say Metiana make up positive as some na me kan wo akukudum se edu wo ho a me kutaduru a hilip a string prostate na ayi hu hawo ina afi ne paso enu ntia bebia am ka se obisu owedu se prostate do cha me oboa because ndo na wo system mu nya no aye nduru a manage ojunso na ojunso no enti bia na bojunso bia obekọ ma mu aduru ojunso no bia obekọ form but ojunso na ekọ form no enu nche se prostate na ehye ho no aiden a shrink suppose to think ya just a from them cry be a problem in the hospital we do bit tamsulosin hydrochloride and finasteride say do mama no wan hwe ne ba juice bi on hoto but na position say chi ho ye kese nti wo didim wan obeso no ba juice na iden juice no mba because na position no kese na ye ntino ama akoma akosi ojunso twa no kwan na afina aka na say e sure rubber na we sure rubber no so a when you go hospital na doctor ni sure rubber ni wia doctor ni wawie e bibie ni ho betuma ya ma obi because prostate omuni na dura shinge prostate the dia ni say na otwe mienu asa na otwe miensa bi obekọ amamo aiden o ma sesa kadeta na ma saa na ebe o saa mre na prostate ni chira eye kese in as time goes on we hwe no na afi na cancer o se bibia so hu na eye kuro na cancer versus na eye cancer anu na di nipa no kono ti wi ameka say do do no a e ko enya saa problem no about 90% and na do amukọ ya na even 98% and do amukọ because prostate ya wa ehun adu ni ho saa when you talk so mo adu no kwa no mo adu no manage symptom no insem me tana me ka say me ye prostate dura na me kan with a great conviction say ya me adom ya menam saa kwan so ama edi me de boa amanfo a wosati bi no mu so wotimi nka me mprimu akoma ndwense bia o me obi a me pe usika nti da bi me kamenko a nko bia wo saa condition ma masa na ya poma ne ho atono no onye ambassador of the of ambassador and kanchi obi ase ene ya sabi oba bia wo kwa ho betowo ntinu de bia me ka se so bi so opposite de do no chemi oboa na wotimi nka so a wo ba na se wo ba mitimi ka se wotimi nka wonya wa ya 90% 10% ne se wo betu anamo aba makache wo ban kwa de opposite se de nkwa be hwenkwe na mesan waduru a wa aka wa ya se a wontumi dwunso no wonuma we dey about 20 to 30 minutes wo be dwunso na obi so wonya kate ya sha nkateta edona betumi asinke pot to na okadeta widen eye from ka se mre bi obi be di adase o ha free enyase e be di adase a papa up to now on see me from because enya me a nka kateta hye na ya se amfa hye na mamu hye na ya se na ono dwunso fam me man eduro onum ye 1 month 1 week ene ya me adom okomi ye osaso dwunso fa na bambam amande odwunso fa na bambam a ye yi na asili ho mesisi wa okay nyo ono pe ni be bebre minimo bi retired medical officer bi a the same thing ma hwe no man ho ato no se wo sati bi no mu a man twintwan na se ndwense bi a o na usika nti da bi me pe omu ananti na mo ampesa me bo nti na ma meti a me yes announcement se wo sati bi no mu a man twintwan man ndwense man ye netifo ye yansafo no to na mo bra wo ba mama aduro mo ho ato me wo fifi plat last stop kaswa udu kaswa ba fa ka o main lorry station ewo old market wo no wo ka wo so fifi down taxi unya taxi ka tira ba so bi so ba tampa na ba fo ni nyina fa ko a enim ho ntomesu wo ho wo si wo ba na ntime 3 minutes pe en wa ba makache wo ba ye be hwe fe I tested with positive said the tie and said the tie na am aduro am ya hwe se ye be follow sa ko se e be strength am also what do ho nti me normal ni 0553 800 678 0553 800 678 I'm sorry 0553
0553
800
678
very good into ba ohubeto yen baba ko ni mienu no obuka se o ha ayema amanfo dini na wom na amanfo amahwe omo ho fenfen oba bo se yen di agro ho nti se wo sati bi ni mu a kane no na aduro ni ho a ene nyame adom aduro ho a emi de hwe ayarfo a wo positive mu se wotimi kan mempim akoma to anamobra na oba ohubeto eni anti na no pema betra ha anase ukade bia no pa me ba ha e be bo hu deru se de be ya when you start bi mu menye oje because yade a ehun aduro se ni ho saa last man be friend me obi say enti baba pose sa yade no enye hunhum yade na mka chen say hunhum yade ho na nso mingin say hunhum yade because when ya omunya kane no omanya aduro nti wanhwa wunya aduro nti waju se bia hunhum me ho aduro a wo ba mediba mama ho atowo
okay
but
Geoffrey of Wilson was 0553 800 678 0553 800 678 na when no any enkomo open the check kwan so a Fifi Pratt last stop ewo Kaswa Nyenyano main road no eso eho ana obehu Obatampa Prostate Center na when wo mo edi ensa wo so over adope me dase
me dase pi
nyame ensure I said of a was saying about Tampa Prostate Center near no Eddie Kobono. Mame fa asidani bi a Maziko Plus Enterprise na anope womu adaroma woman so abwaye ye pa mpacho Ziko Plus for adaroma and they say wood yeme na we factory. We so machines akese and edite wo dwumadia mpacho se aseya Maziko Plus mechanical engineers a ewo ho no MCC machine ni nyina no emfama the automatic washing filling and capping machine mpacho wa wo yusu bibia no wo frɛ wo mu a wo mbesiesie e dia ma se afi na wakra de aba na wo pe obi a wo behyehyɛ ni nyina kama wa installing ne kama e de amount dia eye Ziko Plus Enterprise for wo monim defo a wo mo eye mechanical engineers no ana be ye se adwuma no the amount. The automatic and semi-automatic pet blowing machine. Mo use pet blowing machine no mpacho ni nyina no na siesie no ana ne service no moma Zico Plus Enterprise for enye emfama mo. Mo ye packaging na mo use packaging and shrink wrapping machines, especially mo airport mo wrapping niema ho e de microphone mo machine na mo use e de ye adwuma ni nyina no mpacho safe na wo de aba wo pese wo hyehyɛ ma Zico Plus for enye emfama eseya anazo se wo pese wo ye routine maintenance Zico Plus Enterprise for ebeye ni nyina no e de amount anopay woni wo mo eni enkomo afi mo amutwa nsuo reverse osmosis plant no ana treatment plant amudi treating nsuo no ehho adwuma nyina no e Zico Plus Enterprise for ana ebeye e de amount routine maintenance wo be service ne kama e de amount eseya wo mo behwe aye ni ye afi nso na wo pese wo hyehya wo frɛ wo mo a wo beboa se wo pese wo kra biba na woni honim de nso a woni wo mo ni nkomo wo beboa ama watimi akra the right specification ni nyina no e de aba anopay wo hwehwe mo akira kwan a wo mo won kran wo mo e wo Sportem Taifa Junction na woni wo mo eni enkomo frɛ wo mo on 0500 616319 0500 616319 and after 0540 52 6163 na oni Zico Plus Enterprise for any enkomo anopay na umfidi nyuma ho nsam de pacho wombe ni nyina no e de ama pepepe anopay woni womo any enkomo 28 after 9 me de Kwame Appiah Kubi ma mini 22bet.com for any enkomo emra na yeba na yede enede ni nyina no e de esi ma me ma womo achen na me ma womo akwaba na 22bet.com de pacho wo ko ho games ahodo ni nyina no ebia wo so oyo obi a wo pe bet twade a anopay eho unnecessary o play on ba me ma wo mo ache na me ma wo mo akwaba ajebe ba binye dwuma e wo fie emra na 22 bets baka ho asema de ache pa na wo mo ye heavy anopay wo twabi e wo on website ne so a ebeboa wo ye pa many omo e ba bedin komo mawuli atena sesanso so ana Gideon so atena se ente anopay ma many omo eni enkomo mfree 22bet.com for aseye na anopay mawuli srano osre. I know that they have a lot in store for us. Mawuli, good morning. I'm Pom to say
good morning, Speaker. Pacho,
we are fine.
We are fine. It's a fine pa.
Good morning, and say we are boko.
Enjoy.
Oh, cause a year now, I bet.
I now not do more. We are boko.
Ose.
Yamena do more kodo.
Or kodo. I see. Bible, no. I see. But my shas your mawili so right. 22 bets. Very interesting. And yama mo ya deboa Ghana for. But before I beba my substantive question, this no. You cat 22 better. Juma Kubenya.
Maybe I say yeah, Ghana check Accra, but it's a global betting company.
Okay,
you can say global betting company, and actually say worldwide. In Africa, no, I think more than 8 African countries.
Okay,
yeah, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, Cameroon, Senegal, and then a few others. So I would say that is what 22bet is. 22bet, so your platform, no. Your slogan be say, and your officer, you can say 22bet, na nkofo mutra bet, and a build a platform, no.
Okay.
You know, and not just say or more build a platform, no more dream their betters here, and no more a share platform in it, you know. Say, oh, you be a utai trabet and I say upe gaming na oba platform ne so a nyama bebre wo ho a obetimi aye I betimi ama weni age.
But how does one participate? Momo platform no at saying.
Okay, so your platform no very, very easy to participate. So our phone na
Kessben 92.9FM
22bet.com.gh.
Okay. Website
in the so.
Okay.
Oko 22bet.com krana ebe best sanko 22bet.com.gh intino. Yeah, and I saw mobile apps. The two major app platforms. That's the iOS and also the Android platform intino.
Okay.
O download there, o betimi ako. The here say o download there, o be 18 years of age. Na wa Ghana card. Until unyako platform ne support register. Odo Ghana card ni we ni bibi ashemu anache say and one no what started game out per se game.
And no we hear say what this can be better momo so and sand what me play on and I say send the city modalities need to say.
Okay, into I say we make it a deposit. Into day sika bi beto so now there are 2 games so. Na che say ultimate winning and now we winning. I say ultimate say the whole industry of betting here. People don't know, but it is to play.
Okay.
You have answer unia for me no dia grona. Okase we be winning na we winning ah. Ultimate say we need. Into the idea of betting is we are adding more excitement to the game. But excitement no be there no. So this can be there. A twitch and as you can bet me in the back as well. Yes, so
I see. Sporting activities be and your common platforms ne so was what you bet me ama yashe na yetimi etwebi website no so Marima Gideon so na explain here no mind.
Okay, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, one of the advantages 22bet here want to say our catalog for games and outdoors. Usually Ghanaians we only bet on football, basketball, but for us we have a lot. You can even bet on MMA, fighting, we have golfing, lacrosse, even I don't know, even Ghanaians. So our catalog is large. We have a lot of games. And then with the sports that you choose, when you go, the markets are also like huge. You have a lot of options to choose from. Okay. So that's one advantage.
And almost all sporting disciplines.
I won't dream of say be Ghana no class.
I see. And it has to do with the interest. The whole
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I see. And obi pursue yebia, but your sikano ahin no bet me minimum amount in.
Okay, so currently a minimum deposit 350 pesos, but for the bets in the we to make sure even 1 cedi or 2 cedis depending on balance our it's a money simple mobile.
Now one more enkra a year Android or Apple phones, no smartphones, let me put it that way. What would be there participating?
Okay, so currently we do not have the physical bodies or the shops that you can go to stake the physical bet. So obviously I say any of the online until be our laptop will be or any online and then you get to our platform, whether app or the website, and then we'll bet to me Ediago.
I see. Now recently I heard some stories about more foundation and then more tell me something about it now.
Okay, so your foundation, your friend Thanks 22.
Okay.
So it's a way we give back to the community. Say, okay, Ghana, Juma Ghana, and see apart from more debates and so no.
Yeah.
You perceive say other benefits be or you bet media a community as well, and then your friend Thanks 22 bets and you identify communities or more certain problems. Now you say you bet me then as solve your more. Some of the identification okay, but sometimes some of the general public almost to me buy a hot me catch and say your issue be what say and I say her into something like a foundation a bit me recently near Koye Boho was somewhere in the central region. Yes. So that was
generally a part of more corporate social responsibility. I see. Now, meaning say Bosomi a Ghana month, and then 27th, we are almost drawing closer to the end of the month. Now we are told some more promo. Promo no the
okay, into a Ghana month promo. Obviously, we are in a celebratory mood.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Ghana is the first country south of the Sahara independence. I mean, Ghana for into say celebration be by per se the excitements ni be count. Emma Ghana for into in this Ghana month promo no. Option say o buy a platform so na o deposit a certain amount to minya free games about a platform so. So the free games is in terms of casino games.
Okay.
Into ubenya a lot of spends ubet me the spending more a winning more winning scan and so on na the
no me next line of question. win here, you discount amount. I mean, more wins, and more prizes, How is it like? A quite best necessary first one enticing for, to opt for a year 22 bet.
Okay, so with 22 bets, as we started, make say it was made by Uncle Four Mutra Bet.
Yeah.
So Munim say they are Uncle Four Pay. One of the we are the Huawei on say buy a platform so are very very fast.
Okay.
And they is seamless. On say amount for Mutra Bet na ye kase or Mutia say because
Aviator ni bi also ana.
Aviator no also. Yes, all the
You dey also the
yes. Me dey kakabeka me dey kakabeka Independence month
Okay.
Every year no for the whole month. Though the Independence was 6 months but promo for the whole month.
Okay.
And every week biano there were different promo. So this particular week from 25th to 31st who deposit at least 20 cedis ubenya 30 free spins. You know the quavita now the guso or who spend and idea. There were other casino games out to me that they call spend to me bomana.
But say me better na me bet here. I mean promo no again na SSME and san bet me enter.
So we know you need a minimum deposit of at least 20 cedis. Time I obey deposit, you will see the independence month bonus there. So you just choose it and then you make your deposit. That means you've already entered the promo, and then your unya deposit in the and will bonus no activity into bet me. I start here, you saw free spins na on Sakano.
My memory Mauli, so now we are my last question. Now, DSC. Only betting companies in the Dawson. Some person me Aviator and me call odds for a year games at Airbus weekend here. I mean, why should I choose 22 bets and not any other company and our platform?
Okay, as we've existed for a very long time. That credibility.
Wins never multimedia.
Since we are a global company, we have I won't say a lot of resources, but we have a lot of support from the global team as well. And Unim said the more our betting company, the more stronger it becomes. It's for a while, so we have a lot of resources. Uye depositor eba say renew sika you meet all the conditions you are able to withdraw. Okay, yeah.
So the reason why my person will be one of the reasons is your customer support system very very good, very special, because you can reach us on almost all the platforms.
Okay.
So on the app and then the website, to me your live chat on WhatsApp, to me a Telegram, your all the social media handles me DM if you have any other issues, and then our customer support works 24/7. How much it costs still?
I must set it out also the bank of one.
Yeah, what tips that I know we Juma. And almost it's me.
I would have been that question now.
And we had that. We had that.
We have be a youth to the man. I see. But the job catch to Gideon. I remember about this.
So I will edge all bet Nina say almost switch it. Now 22 bet we had it.
22 bet the more there. I say. Mauli first in the
Also so now Miss person me the way to drive within April.
Yeah.
And then the subsequent months, you better activations around the certain parts of the country, Accra, Kumasi, and Takrade. And to say who say 22 bet ye be I'll bet me a try maybe your price be you bet me the actual.
But when are you going to zoom in into physical shops and bet me a room?
Okay, so she say on a platform only online.
Yeah.
In the near future there we don't have any plans on doing a physical shop, but when it gets there we will let the general public know. Yeah.
Very well. More numbers be I'm going to bet now.
Oh, yeah, numbers need our platform. So, call your platforms now, over down. Now, call, contact us. Ube your email, your phone numbers, and your WhatsApp numbers now, or until we contact us any time of the day.
Very well. Mauli Meda say, and I've Gideon, almost every 22 bet, but your betting platform no heavy, and I don't pay cost. Na few years.
Thank you.
It's time to check out of here. My man wish Kenzie a very big happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Kenzie. Because your boys are not paying. We need to celebrate you. And God bless you and bless your new age. God bless you so much, my brother. Happy birthday to you. And in your case, here, one show. Now, what you could do home. My man wish Mabel Anita a very big happy birthday. HR. And administrative manager at Wakanishi Market Complex. I don't pay happy birthday to you. God bless you so much. And I didn't tell anyone, John. Now, when you're kissing, I mean, we say a queer J. Chief Executive and the Matek so make up. I don't pay happy birthday to you. Ekia, celebrate you this morning. God bless you so much. And I didn't show now when you're kissing and one to anyone, John. I mean, we say, or Henny, a very big happy birthday. Or Henny, happy birthday to you. God bless you on your new age. Today, the Kwame Appiah Kubi on behalf of the team. This is where I draw the curtain down. Today, I don't do me any other. With your share. Good morning. Enjoy the rest of your day. We are out of here.
92.9